Detected.
Tense motion.
On November 13th, 2025, Blue Origin achieved a pivotal milestone in modern spaceflight. Its heavy-lift rocket, the New Glenn, successfully launched for its second mission, designated NG-2, from Launch Complex 36 at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida. This flight carried twin NASA spacecraft headed toward Mars and marked the first time Blue Origin successfully landed the rocket's reusable first stage on its ocean platform barge. Let's dive into the breakdown of the mission, its significance, and what it means for the future of space exploration. First, a quick overview of the mission, NG-2 and ESCAPADE. The mission is cataloged by Blue Origin simply as New Glenn Mission NG-2. Liftoff occurred after multiple weather and space weather delays. On board were NASA's twin spacecraft, forming the ESCAPADE, Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorers mission built by Rocket Lab for the University of California, Berkeley Space Sciences Laboratory. Once New Glenn's main first stage separated and began its descent, the second stage ignited its B-3U engines and ferried the spacecraft toward a long loiter orbit around Earth before they head to Mars. Well, there certainly is a key achievement, and that is the twin spacecraft deployment into the designated orbit. Successful first stage booster landing on the sea-based barge named Jacqueline, several hundred miles downrange. Next, we look at the scientific purpose, why ESCAPADE matters. While the dramatic rocket visuals grab headlines, the science aboard this mission is quietly profound. The twin ESCAPADE probes, often nicknamed Blue and Gold, will investigate how the sun's charged particle output, the solar wind, interacts with Mars' magnetic environment, contributing to atmospheric escape over time. Mars once had a much thicker atmosphere and flowing water on its surface. Understanding the mechanisms that stripped it away is key to reconstructing the planet's climate and habitability history. The dual spacecraft setup allows stereo measurements, two viewpoints of the space weather environment around Mars. The mission is relatively low cost, under is almost equal to $80 million, for Mars exploration standards, illustrating a trend of more efficient space science. Next, we look at the technological and strategic significance of the mission. Beyond the immediate science goals, NG-2 signals broader developments. Reusable rockets made real. The first stage booster's successful landing on Jacqueline marks a turning point for Blue Origin's reusability ambitions. Previously, the first flight's landing attempt failed. New Glenn stands about 98 meters, almost equals 321 feet, tall, powered by 7B for methane/LOX engines first stage and 2B-3U second stage engines. The launch positions Blue Origin more directly against SpaceX, which currently dominates the commercial orbital launch market and reusability game. By partnering for a Mars mission, Blue Origin expands beyond its tourism niche via New Shepard into science and interplanetary launch services. The mission had to dodge both terrestrial weather and a strong solar storm, which threatened to disrupt spacecraft electronics. Why the delays, though? Let's look at the weather and space weather. The path to liftoff was not smooth. A scheduled launch attempt on November 9th was scrubbed due to inclement weather at the pad. A subsequent attempt on November 12th was aborted because of severe solar storm G4 watch. Elevated solar proton and geomagnetic activity can harm spacecraft electronics and communications. NASA and Blue Origin opted to delay the launch for safety. Finally, on November 13th, the skies cleared and conditions, both terrestrial and solar, were deemed acceptable for launch. This sequence underscores how space missions must account for not just rocket mechanics and ground weather, but also the dynamic space environment above Earth. So, what's next? The ESCAPADE spacecraft will spend several months in a parking/loiter orbit before heading to Mars when planetary alignment allows. Arrival is projected in 2027. For Blue Origin, success here strengthens its readiness for future missions. Lunar landers, e.g. the Blue Moon Project, crewed flights, national security launches. Competitive pressure on the launch industry increases. Cost, reusability, reliability will be key metrics. From a scientific viewpoint, ESCAPADE's results could inform future human Mars planning. Radiation shielding, atmospheric loss risks, solar wind mitigation. In many ways, NG-2 was a quiet revolution, an advanced rocket lifting science payloads to Mars while catching its booster back on Earth, neatly tying together big science, reusability, and private industry ambition. It may not make the headlines of human Mars landings, but this launch lays the groundwork. As Blue Origin says of the mission, the booster landed on Jacqueline, and the ESCAPADE probes are on their way. For those of us watching the broader arc of space exploration, from Earth orbit to Moon to Mars, November 13th, 2025 will stand out as a turning point. The commercial space sector deepens its voyage to the Red Planet, and science gets a new ride. That's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more juicy and interesting updates.